Jamie Dimon, the billionaire CEO of JP Morgan Chase, thinks he knows what's best for this country.
Senator Bernie Sanders introduced a plan where he would wipe out student debt essentially by levying a tax on Wall Street. What do you think about that plan?
Universities should feel more responsibility. So if you're going to make loans, make good loans that people need to get them to where they're going and get them good jobs at the end.
You'll forgive me, I hope, if I choose to take the advice of Mr. Dimon with just a grain of salt. The only thing that he has the authority to comment on is how to rip off the American people. Let me explain. In 2013, JP Morgan was fined $13 billion for mortgage fraud. In 2015, the bank admitted to wrongly foreclosing on military service members. And in 2016, the bank paid a settlement after it was caught bribing foreign officials. And to top it all off, JP Morgan received a $416 billion taxpayer bailout from the Federal Reserve and the Treasury Department. Did I mention that Dimon sat on the board of the Federal Reserve during the financial crisis? Now, Dimon says comparing employee salaries and CEO salaries are like comparing apples to oranges. But last I checked, workers are workers. And once upon a time, the pay gulf between them wasn't so large that it could be described as belonging to an entirely different species. The average American thinks that CEOs make about 30 times as much as the average employee. And I get why. Just back in 1978, the ratio was 30-1. But today, after decades of regulatory rollbacks and concessions to corporate interests, it's over 300-1. The ratio between Jamie Dimon's salary and employee salary, the one he has waved away as a, quote, complete waste of time to talk about, that's 381-1. It's no surprise then that Dimon, who made $31 million just last year, doesn't want us to ask questions about whether wealth is being distributed fairly in this country. The truth is, Jamie Dimon and his ilk are afraid of the movement led by Bernie Sanders. And you know what, Jamie? You should be. When Bernie is in the White House, he is going to put an end to the greed of self-interested millionaires and billionaires like you who have rigged our legal and economic system to benefit you and at our expense. Not only are we going to break up the banks, we're going to put a cap on credit card interest rates so that the rich can't profit off of poverty. And we're going to provide postal banking for all so that working class people won't be slaves to exploitative fees or be forced to rely on payday lenders in underbanked, disproportionately Black and brown neighborhoods. Instead of cutting Dimon's taxes, we are going to guarantee healthcare as a human right, enact free college for all, cancel all student debt, provide universal free school meals, and finally create an economy that works for everyone, not just billionaires like Jamie Dimon. Martin Luther King Jr. said that in America, there's socialism for the rich and rugged individualism for the poor. And he was right. The reason we don't have nice things in this country isn't because we can't afford them. It's because the rich and powerful are holding the purse strings. The wolves have been guarding the hen house, and it's time for a changing of the guard.